story of embarrassment about me being embarrassed. I used to have a lot of children, and Warren, my husband, his sister lives in California, and when our son Jeffrey was 5, we went down to visit her, and she took us to Universal Studios, which, if you know, is kind of like an amusement park, sort of, but it's about movies, and they had, like, at the time, it was like a big Shrek, and Jeffrey got to hug Dora the Explorer, and so we were having a very good time, and it was October, and it was still very warm, like it would be warm here today. And they have water parks. And this was a beautiful water park. I mean, it had big as this church, maybe more. And it had all these little buckets and cannons, and you could shoot little guns at each other and run through the sprinklers and slides and everything. And it had this huge, like, platform tower. And you could go up, and there would be a platform, and then you could go higher again, and there was another platform. And Jeffrey and I, we thought this was fantastic. So we went up on the tower, and we're watching all the little kids spraying each other, running around, and having a good time, and we were loving it. And then I heard this terrible sound. It was like, meh, meh, meh. And I'm like, well, I wonder what that is, you know. We weren't, never been there before. And it keeps going, meh, meh, meh. And I notice all the little kids are running away. And they're all leaving. And I'm thinking, well, that's odd. What's going on? What I didn't realize was there was a giant bucket above us on that platform. And what the children knew that Jeffrey and I didn't know was when that sound went off, meh, meh, it meant that bucket was going to dump. And Jeffrey and I, we did not know that. We were from Canada. We did not know that was going to happen. So, of course, it dumped. And, we just worse than a shower. It was just, so we got soaked to the skin. And all the children were laughing and pointing, and my sister-in-law was laughing and pointing. She thought it was hysterical. And I spent the rest of that day soaking wet. Fortunately, it was warm and nice, and I survived just fine. But I think of that often, and there's times when Jesus gives us a warning. Meh. And sometimes we don't know what it means, so we don't pay attention. Sometimes we don't want to listen to the warning that our parents or our teachers maybe gave us. And so we might end up soaking wet. So when Jesus gives you a little shout out, a little meh, maybe listen when Mom says, don't jump your bike off of that ramp. Do you think that could be Jesus warning you? No, you're okay? You didn't, but anyways, just consider the good advice of your parents and teachers as Jesus's alarm system, okay? You guys have a good time today.